what do you call it? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another all new episode of LayIzzy's Introspection Connection. I am Izzy,
I am Lay.
and this week is all about family. We're gonna talk all about family. And I will let my lovely co-host start off this discussion. So let's talk
Well,
about family.
about family, we're going to talk about traditional versus chosen family. Um, but first, we're going to dive right into traditional family. And I did a Google search on what Google had to say about what traditional family is. So, a family with a husband, a wife, or and one or more children, also pets. That's what they said. However, in a modern family, it could be a same-sex couple with or without children, a blended family, which is um, a family that, um,
It's
yeah,
basically a family. It's a blended family. It's basically, you have a mom and a dad, and maybe they were in previous relationships, and they have children with their children from a previous relationship, as well as their current children together. So that's a blended family.
exactly. Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up because I got stuck.
Yeah, for sure,
Um,
for sure.
or and then another example of a modern family could be a grandparent or grandparent raising one or more children. Um, I am going to read something interesting that I also found on Google. It has to do with traditional parenting,
Yeah.
which is when parents expect their children to respect and obey authority as well as comply, sorry, with their cultural beliefs and values.
Oh
And they
my
have
goodness.
they have something else here. It says this style of parenting can result in higher academic achievements and lower behavioral and psychological problems. And I am going to click on the link where I got this from. It's iastate.pressbooks.pub.
Yeah. So, yes, we do our research around here. This is not your run of the mill podcast where we just say what's on our mind. Well, we do say what's on our minds, but we
We
also
do.
do research to back it up. Just and in this case, we do need research. But as far as kids, respecting their parents and cultural beliefs, for me, all of that has gone out the window with today's generation. I mean, the
Mm.
this is the generation of self-entitled people. Like I there's no other way to put it. Like
Let's say that again.
everybody in this generation is self-entitled. They don't want to work for everything. They think they deserve everything. They think that people owe them everything, and that ain't the case, man. Whatever you need, whatever you want, you got to go out and get it and earn it.
No, you're absolutely right about that. And also, like I always say, these like when it comes to children developing these ways, I just don't blame like you can't just blame the media or social media. I'm sorry, TV media and social media. You got to blame, home life. It starts from home because we're not born to develop these kinds of personalities, you know? These are taught.
Right. Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right.
So I wanted to add that in
You
because
are
it's
absolutely right.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, and like even like even me, in my personal life, I have a lot of foster brothers and sisters, and they're like and this past Christmas, it was like, oh, that I'm telling you, my mom is an angel. I love my mom.
Oh.
She's a saint. She'll give you the shirt off her back, and that's how she was, and she always will be that way. But the thing is that with these kids,
Mm-hmm.
man, it's she doesn't teach self entitlement. She's kind of old school, kind of the way she raised us. Every you gotta earn it, and you gotta do good in school, da, da, da. But now, it's like with these kids, with my foster brothers and sisters. Some of them is like, oh, like like if they don't get a certain thing for Christmas that they ask for, it's like, why didn't I get this? And I'm like, and like, me hearing that, and like, it's like, first of all, you're not entitled to anything. Like, you
Right.
just, you got what you got. And there are kids out there that don't have the things that you have, and are not as blessed to have the things that you have. So you just appreciate it. There's kids out there that don't have shoes. You got fucking five
Mm-hmm.
hundred five hundred dollar pair of Jordans or whatever they cost. Now I don't know because I don't buy sneakers, but you got all of this crap, and you're worried about what you didn't get. Like, come on now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like,
Oh.
I don't I don't care if they hit us either, for real. Yeah, I've said it to their face. I've said it to my mom's face, and I've said it to their face. So I really don't care.
No, these children will learn. They'll learn. If it's not now, while they're young, but they'll learn eventually.
True, and it's just
When
as
they
good.
start when they start working for that stuff.
Yeah, it's absolutely, like, I find it absolutely disgusting. Like, I can't stand that.
And they're going to realize, okay, yeah, I may be able to get these things that I've always wanted, but then there's bills, there's budgeting your finances and
Yeah.
the whole the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I can't. It just, that's one thing that irks me. Like, I can't stand self entitled pricks. Like, I can't.
Me either. So I wanted to touch base on what I've read. Um, the about traditional parenting. Um, the part when the part where it says when parents expect their children to respect and obey authority and to comply with their cultural beliefs and values. Personally, I feel like, well, from my experience, um, I f- I feel like that's more of a boomer mentality, the boomer culture,
Right.
because their parents, I feel like it's like a domino effect. It's like their parents were strict, were this way. So they're like, okay, you know, my parents taught me this right from wrong, and I did okay. So I'm going to put this on my kids. But then they don't realize that it was a different time compared to my generation, your generation. Things have changed. That
Right.
parenting, it did more damage than good.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. More
More.
psychological damage
Yeah,
than good.
absolutely.
Because I personally am like I mentioned, I believe it was the first episode, there are things that I am unlearning that I thought was the right way to go throughout life. And I'm relearning more insightful and more positive ways of thinking and going about my life. Like, for example, like another example is that, I was taught to, you can't rely on someone. You gotta vent for yourself. when in reality, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's
Yeah.
okay to take your time. It's okay to take a break. That saying goes that I was also taught, no sleep for the, what's it called?
No
No
rest for the
rest for the
wicked.
wicked
No rest for
wicked
the
or
wicked.
something.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I will sleep until I mean when I'm dead or something like that. No. You
I still say that sometimes, and it comes back to bite me in the ass. Trust me.
yeah, because you need to rest. You need to rest.
I still say that, and like it's I don't know. I'm more of like it's that also goes hand in hand with. I mean, this doesn't necessarily have to do anything with like family, because
Mm-hmm.
my mom has always been proud of me and everything that I've done. But me myself, from a personal standpoint, I'm more of a what have you done lately type of guy. Like I'm not one to like kind of rest on my accomplishments, past accomplishments.
No, right. And I feel like what we discussed previous episodes, the perfectionist in us comes out,
Yeah, that's
right?
exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
but
like we feel like, all right, we didn't do enough. And that's also something that was taught, which well, for me, which was also taught, psychologically taught. You understand? You get
no,
it?
no, no, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I totally get it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because some parents are like that. Some parents are definitely like that, and some families like that. I've
Yeah.
seen, I've
Family.
seen
Yep.
it, I've seen it around me. So I definitely, I've never experienced it, but I've seen it, so I know what you're talking
Mm-hmm.
about.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like I've experienced it with like other friends and their families too. Like they were so hard on them because they're like, we want you to do this, we want you to do that. And then they ended up doing the complete opposite. You
Yeah,
get,
no, totally get it, totally get
yeah.
it. And that's usually what happens, because all the pressure of your parents wanting them to do what you want to do, instead of forging your own path, that gets to you, and now you kind of have to be defiant and say, no, I'm not gonna do that. Fuck it, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'll deal with the
Hmm.
repercussions of what my parents say later. I totally get that.
Like for me, um, I became alternative. Um, you know, if like alternative, like someone into like the goth, metal, rocker, community, culture,
Yeah.
yada yada, because I rebelled and like majority of my family growing up, they were into R&B and hip hop, and I guess they were considered normal, like normal living, normal being, whatever.
Oh
But
man.
I mean, I mean, I was different. So,
No,
and I
he's
ended up rebelling, and because I ended up rebelling against what was considered the norm, um, I real everybody was like, "Oh, it's just a phase," and now I'm
yeah,
35.
I hate that. I hate the it's just a face crap. I really That's another thing that irks me, but please
Mhm.
go ahead.
Now I'm 35, and we're going back, what, 15 plus years later or something like that. I'm still me.
Eh, I guess it wasn't a phase, now was it?
No.
Like this is what I and being the traditional, like this is what we mean by like traditional family. Like there's no like there's a scientific definition, but like all of that,
Yeah.
with the way today's culture and today's society is, all of it goes out the window. Tradition goes out the window.
Yeah. Like you have your modern family, you have your blended family. Like there's no traditional anymore. No. I mean, if there are families who still follow what is considered traditional, which I'm not against that, but I love the blended families. I love the modern family because it's like I noticed that these families are more open and accepting to their children. They open that gateway of allowing their children to communicate, to just be themselves, rather than with traditional families, going back to that definition, traditional parenting, when parents expect their children to respect and obey authority as well as comply with their cultural beliefs and values, that's out the window right now. They're
Yeah, but
allowing their children to be themselves, to
yeah,
grow in their own skin.
yeah, usually like that definition that they just read off, you find that more in more traditional
Hmm.
based cultures such as maybe Judaism or Hinduism or something like that. Like that it's more. But if you're not like, I'm not trying to bring religion into this, but if you're not overly religious, chances are you're not gonna follow that. You're not gonna follow the definition of a traditional family.
But it's crazy because in those families too, from various of like social media, those random videos you find on
Right,
Facebook or whatnot,
right.
you see like there are people in those communities who are metalheads. Metalheads meaning like someone who's
Oh
into
yeah.
heavy music and stuff like that, who wears the band shirts, but they still follow the cultural values and beliefs that they were raised on.
No, no, actually that's pretty interesting that you say that because
Hmm.
are they doing that? Uh, I would assume if they have that kind of strict upbringing and having to follow the rules and everything, I'm assuming that they were kind of maybe doing it on the low.
I this is I don't know specifically, but maybe.
I
But
mean,
it's more
I
accepting.
could I yeah, no, I could be right. Like, don't quote me on that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe their parents do know about that.
Hmm.
I could be very, very wrong. But
Yep.
but yeah, no, and yeah, so tradition for me, like there's no it's not traditional family for me. It's kind of gone out the window, and like Lay was explaining, it's taken on a whole different meaning.
Yep. Yep. Sure has. And
Yeah,
you know what? I'm happy. I'm
you don't
really
know.
happy because it's like there's no like that whole structured life. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, listen, structure is great sometimes, but
Yes.
not in the sense of where you overdo it to the point like listen, this is just from my experience. The more that you push somebody to do something, and the more that you kind of drill into their head, like, this is how things need to be done, whether it doesn't even have to do with family. It could just be in any aspect of life. The more you drill that into the person's head,
Mhm.
the less that they're gonna want to do it, and the less that they're gonna rebel. So the more likely they are to rebel. So,
But
and yeah, yeah.
oh no, no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, and it's like, what do you call it? It's the same thing. It's the same thing it's the same thing with like dating. you introduce your partner to your parents may not necessarily like that person, and then hey, I don't want you seeing this person, and da, 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 this, that, and the other thing. The more that they say that, the more that they're gonna want to get with each other. Like, you're not pushing them
Right.
apart, you're not pushing them further apart, you're actually pushing them closer together. So it makes no sense,
That
like, to to,
also
to do
happened to
that
me.
to do that, so I'm like, it's like, whatever. But yeah, but anyway, please go ahead, Lee.
See? It's that whole thing with rebellion, being a rebel. Like, come on. Like, okay, you said no. Why not? And then they don't give a logical explanation of why. They'll be like, because I told you so. And you're like, okay,
Yeah,
bet.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
do it anyway.
You told me, but you told me to stay away from him, but that doesn't mean listen. I'm gonna see him. I'm gonna see him later at night, whether them later in tonight, whether you like it or not. If I
Exactly.
gotta if I gotta deal with sneak to do it, then that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm not gonna, you know, abide by your rules and shit. Like, it's just, I don't know. That's just me. That's what came to my head when we were talking about it, uh expecting to follow like cultural, like obey their cultural beliefs and values and stuff like that.
Hmm.
That's what came to my head.
That's
I
one
don't
thing.
know.
Like,
I don't know if
and
that was
it's
off
like,
topic, but
oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
no, I said I don't know if that was off topic, but that's
No,
just.
no, 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 no. That was spot on.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're
Go ahead. Go ahead. No,
oh my goodness.
go ahead. No,
Like,
but please.
I wish that's one thing I love about like parenting, modern families. It's like they're more, well, from what I've seen on social media and whatnot, they're more open with their children. Like they're like these parents, so like I said, these parents are more open with their children and more honest. And then they're not afraid to talk about the uncomfortable questions and topics or whatever. Unlike with traditional parenting, they'll just say, "Oh, we're not going to talk about this because I said so or I don't like it."
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, "You?" You're like, "Why?" Wh- And then you start thinking, "Did I say something wrong? Was my confusion bad?" Or I'm like, that's the thing. It's like you shouldn't leave your children wondering.
Right.
You got to be straight up.
No, you're absolutely right. I definitely agree with that. And it's like,
Mm.
what do you call it? We're not gonna talk about it just because, like, no. So then you're not. So you may not talk about it, but then they'll go ask a person that's close to them, like a second mom or a mentor, whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Oh, what's this? And then that person is confused and saying, oh, you're like your mom or dad should be explaining this, and then you don't know what to say. So it's like,
Right.
just be straight with your kids, man. Like, just really.
Again, I don't have kids of my own.
Me either, but like, that's what I would do. Like, just be straight.
Yeah, straight up. Be honest. Got to sit down and address the elephant in the room.
Yeah, no, and that's what a lot of people don't do. And it's like grown adults do that. Let alone
Yeah.
parents with kids. Like, just two grown adults like that hate each other, and it's like, okay, so why do you not like each other? Or, oh, I'm not saying it. I don't like, what's the point of that?
I swear, man.
If see, this goes down this whole thing about it's a huge rabbit hole. It's a huge rabbit hole.
And that's where the rebellion kicks in because it's like, oh, if I'm not going to get my answers, I'm going to get it from somewhere else.
Right.
And then this doesn't just go, I wanted to add
Sure.
um that it also, like, the teachers we probably had growing up, they were part of that, a part of that generation too.
Yeah.
So, it's like you're not getting it at home, so what makes you think you're going to get it at school?
Right.
Like I said, thankfully, nowadays everyone is open with talking about the uncomfortable topics.
Yeah.
And that's
Like,
what needs to be discussed because there's going to be questions asked.
God forbid you wanted to learn about sex, and then you take a sex ed course in high school where all like the first half of the semester, all they teach you is about ovulation and babies and all that shit, and it's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, how come I didn't learn that?
Mind you, is that topic is more broad
Yeah. No, but
nowadays. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, but you get the idea though.
Yeah. No, their solution was to just put on a video. And I'm like, mind you, the video is like was made back in like the 60s,
Yeah,
70s, whatever.
seriously, yeah, like
I'm like, times have changed.
that's true. You're absolutely right about that.
Oh my God.
Okay, now moving into chosen family. We're gonna talk about chosen family. And
Chosen family.
those are the families that they're not necessarily biologically related. They could be friends, they could be longtime colleagues. It doesn't matter what it is, man. But those are your family. Those are the people that you trust and that you can confide in, and you have the dynamic of a family with that type of family. So whether it's a like I said, whether it's a best friend or a group of best friends, like
Hmm.
that's what chosen family is. And
But just because we're rolling with the Google search, I'm gonna just read a definition on it as well,
yeah,
like to piggyback off what you said.
for sure.
What is the meaning of chosen family? This is from www.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov. Um, One way of understanding a chosen family is as a group of people to whom a person is emotionally close enough to consider them as family, even though they are not biologically or legally related.
Hmm, there you go. Basically,
See, but
everything that I just said.
exactly. I just wanted to continue the whole Google
no,
because
but no, but yeah, and speaking of chosen family, I get to do this podcast every single week with a member of my family. So
exactly.
yeah.
Our chosen family. My bro.
Yeah, this is yeah, no, like I said, and I'm gonna continue to say this every episode till you get sick of it. What do you call it? This is
Oh
not
God.
just a this is not just a podcast every week. We do not sit down once a week and just plan out a podcast. We hang out outside of this. I've actually seen how short she is in person. So yeah, we Oh no,
But
ain't
that's
no
it. We're cutting that out. Cut. No, no, I'm kidding.
oh no, we're not editing any of this out. No, wait. The people need to
Oh my
know
goodness.
because
Nah.
they're gonna eventually ask and they're gonna need to know. No, I'm just kidding. But no, but in all seriousness, this is definitely chosen family right here. I mean,
Yes.
we met like what? S- uh, how many years has it been now?
Did I meet you in 2018?
Uh, I'm pretty sure you did because that's when I met Carmen. So yeah, I think we met. I think I met you a
Okay.
little bit after Carmen, but I know that's when I met.
Oh, so it was 2009, 2019 then.
No, it
Because when I
might have
met
been.
her, think it was
Oh yeah,
around
yeah. When
Thanksgiving of that year of
Thanksgiving,
2018.
Thanksgiving. Okay, no, yes, it was after because I
Yeah.
know. Wait,
It was
so
after, it was one of the pay-per-views. I know that.
yeah, no, that's when we met. But did you met her that same night, or you knew her before that?
2018 uh, in person, either October or November.
Okay, because I
Because I
know.
know I
Ah, shit, this is gonna drive me nuts. Because I remember the night I met you. I do remember that.
can you enlighten me? Because I don't remember.
I do remember that. It was one of our pay-per-view parties like we talked about on the podcast. And you were eating Carmen's world famous lasagna, if you know, you know.
Oh
What do
my
you
gosh.
yeah, so and then yeah, we had started talking and then we just became cool and yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not
I think
much.
that might have been the next year because I didn't start going to the parties until 2019.
Okay, so
Yeah, so it
let's
was like early
yes,
2019.
so okay,
Mm-hmm.
so then yeah, because I met Carmen in September of 2018 because that was the night that
Oh, wow.
yeah, she was at a party for a mutual friend of ours, Alex, and his lady at the time. Yeah, anyway, that's a whole different story. We'll get into that. But what do you call it? Yeah, so she was at a house party with another mutual family member of ours, Jen, and that's how I
Yeah.
met. That's how I met. I didn't. It's funny. I didn't talk to when I met Carmen that night. I didn't talk to her like that night, but I did. But I remember, like, it's funny, and I've told her this, so this is nothing new to her. But I remember thinking to myself going home that night. I was like, it's like, man, she's really pretty. So I just like
Oh,
yeah, I said that night, and then what do you call well to myself that night, and then she. It's funny when it's funny. It's so funny with social media and everything. You can be talking about something and then like an
it
ad
just
for it to
shows up.
pop up. Yeah, and then so that's kind of what happened with Carmen. So
They're
I had
watching
a
us.
so yeah, that's kind of what happened with Carmen. So I like we saw each other for the first time at the party, and then the next day she just happened to pop up in my people you may know section on Facebook.
Mm.
So I'm like, oh shit, okay. So I'm like, okay, let me like, all right, let me because normally I don't mess with the people you may know section on Facebook. I just like whatever. If I know them, then it's cool. But if like I really don't mess with it. But I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me send her a request and see. So being the amazing woman that she is, she answered right away, and then we
She's
started talking.
okay. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Oh
kidding.
my,
I
whoa!
love
You know
her.
she's gonna hear this, right?
Talk shit about her, okay? Out of
Oh,
love.
is that what this is? I'm gonna tell her specifically to listen to episode 5.
You you could do that.
No, I'm just kidding, but no, in all seriousness. So she popped up, and then we started talking, and then we've been cool ever since. And then so that's how that happened. But yeah, so and that all ties into chosen family because if you
Mm,
know us, we're all a family. It's not just me, Lay, and Carmen. There's a lot of amazing family members in this
yes.
family, So
I met her through because I knew Zaleska first.
right. Yeah,
And
Zaleska
I'm
I met
assuming
after.
she must have told her about me. I don't
Ah,
know the story. And then I either it was me that sent Carmen the request or she did. Because I know our 6 year anniversary came up as being friends recently.
oh, yeah, mine is not till September.
I'm not sure.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know when I. Yeah, I don't know when I. Yeah, see, when it pops up, I'll then I'll know
Yeah.
that's when I met you. So like, yeah, when it pops up,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm sure somebody wrote something about what we were doing that night and what was going on. So I'm pretty sure
If
when that pops up, everything will come back.
if not, there's pictures.
That's true. Oh yeah, we have plenty of those.
Oh
Plenty
yeah.
of those. Plenty of pictures. But yeah, some more flattering
But
than others, but yeah, we still got yeah,
oh, oh, okay.
yeah, don't even wanna there's stories behind the pictures, but we'll maybe we will, maybe we won't. I'm not sure. I know I know
But
Carmen and I have a few stories behind our pictures, but yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, no,
But honestly, all right, chosen family. We digress.
Oh my God. All right, back on topic. You see, this is why you want to tune into this podcast, because normally normally we try to stay on topic, but sometimes we go off the rails, just like this.
It's all the time.
Anyway, back to chosen family.
Um, hmm. Chosen family.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's not
It
okay, okay,
it
so
definitely it definitely gave me new meaning to what family is.
okay. Talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Because it's like going back to what I mentioned about traditional families, like, my opinion of family is that you should be able to just be yourself,
Right.
to talk about the uncomfortable topics, to be brutally honest without the judgment and
Oh, we do that all the
uh
time. In
the
our
betrayal, the this, that, and the third.
in
Like,
our family, we're yeah,
hmm
we that's us all the time.
that's one thing I love about chosen families. It's like there's no sugarcoating,
Oh,
like you,
no, no,
like,
no, yeah.
you could just be one way and I don't know, you could just be yourself naturally and everybody's like, "Oh, that's just Lay," or "That's just Izzy,"
Right,
whatever.
right.
You don't have to try to fit in a place. There's not no one's it's not this like definition of a perfect child or a golden child or whatever. Like it's just everyone coming together and, vibing together naturally.
Right.
You don't have to try. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to do this. No, you could just be you.
And I feel like that's why a lot of people gravitate more towards chosen family in that
Mm-hmm.
sense, because there's a group of people that they naturally feel comfortable around, and that that's not gonna judge them, and that's gonna call them out when they need to be called out. And like we've discussed in previous episodes, that's why I love you guys so much, because like
Yeah.
and I have, like I said, I have a huge traditional family. Like there's
Big
multiple,
same.
yeah, it's multiple, sides to the family, But yeah, but the one thing that they all have in common is that they all call me out on my bullshit, which sometimes, which no, and honestly, I would not have it any other way. Like, I don't prefer
Yeah.
any preferential treatment. I don't do all of that. I don't do all of that stuff. So it's like if I do something stupid or I do something fucked up, please tell me I did that, and I will be man enough to admit I fucked up or I did something stupid. So yeah, no,
Right.
and it's good, because I feel kind of, I don't want to use the word normal in that sense, but I feel
What is
included.
normal?
Yeah, that's true. I feel
What is
included.
normal? Yeah, we're
That is,
gonna actually we should talk about that too.
I feel
That
included.
coincides.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
for sure, for
Sorry.
sure. I feel included. There you go. That's
Thank you.
the phrase I'm looking for. Included.
Yes. Naturally too.
Yeah.
Not like, yeah, I feel included because of what up. No, it's just, you're the vibes, the energy, the wavelengths, the frequency, all that goodness is just natural. It's right.
Yeah, and that's a big thing about our family, man. We're all about energy. If your energy's off and you're around us, like no, get away from us, bro. Like,
We'll call you. See, and that's another thing. We'll call you out on it
yeah,
without sugarcoating it and then making things awkward. Or my favorite that I've heard in traditional families is like they know something's off and you, the black sheep, quote unquote, address said issue and then they're like, oh, we know this is wrong, but we got to remain a family anyway.
no.
But I'm
Oh,
like,
oh, okay. No, see, now we're getting into the meat of things, which is like if you're in a toxic relationship, whether it be with a partner, whether it be family, do not be afraid to cut that toxic piece out of your life just because they're family. Just because they're family doesn't mean they deserve a pass.
right. Like, and that's one thing. It's like that's the that's that traditional family mentality. Not saying all, but certain traditional families. They're like, yeah, this person is problematic, but we don't want to see our, I don't know, golden child disappointed because they brought in someone who's toxic and they're like, oh, we just got to be a family anyway. No.
No.
What do you mean?
Yeah. It's like no.
Or something that, or someone in the family could be toxic,
Right.
but then they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's just so and
Such and
so and
such.
so and
Yeah,
so.
right.
That's normal. Oh, the reason why they could be acting this way because you're the problem. It's never it's never said person. It's always you because you're being disrespectful or oh, you shouldn't do that or, and then they'll throw.
Yeah, motherfucker, how about no? How about I'm not being disrespectful? I'm setting boundaries. How about that?
Oh
Don't I
yeah,
have a
that
right
that
to
that
do
that
that?
that that doesn't fly in a traditional family.
Don't I have a right to do that? Like, come on, bro. Like, so me protecting my inner peace and setting boundaries for myself is considered disrespectful? Then fucking call me disrespectful if you want.
Again, that's one of the things I'm learning, well, unlearning and learning. Boundaries, the importance of boundaries, having boundaries not only with friends, but with your traditional and even chosen family too.
Yeah, of
You
course, of
need to
course.
have boundaries because I don't think I was ever taught boundaries. It was always, just got to deal with it. No.
Yeah, yeah. Same here. But then as I got older, I'm kind of teaching myself, kind of self-taught.
Yep. Self-taught. Self-taught. Self-taught is definitely a big thing because we were taught one way. We realized that way wasn't working for us. And then we probably felt wrong about feeling this way. So until we realized, yeah, it's not wrong to teach ourselves a way that works for us.
Right. Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, what else is there? What else is there to say? That's pretty much it. I mean, not
And
for the
then,
not for the podcast, but I mean,
oh no, no,
but I know, but I mean, on the subject of that, there's no better way to say it.
don't get me started on like the quote unquote black sheep.
Oh, please do because it goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. So please do elaborate if you
Because
don't mind.
black sheep, someone who's just like, I guess someone who doesn't follow the norm, quote unquote, that that, you know, the other siblings in the family may follow or think or just was raised on thinking that was okay or whatever. But, you being the black sheep, quote unquote, you're like, yeah, this doesn't feel right. Um, yeah, I'm not going to do this. And then you start to ask questions because you're curious. And then you're just given answers like, oh, you shouldn't ask that because it's bothering me, or I feel that is wrong. And like, they'll like that parent would do everything in their power to just avoid, parent or guardian will do everything in their power to avoid speaking on it,
Right.
speaking about the reasons why.
And by the way, constructive criticism is not an attack. Just just
It's
just
not.
putting that out there. Just putting that out there. I hate when I give people constructive criticism about something and then, oh, why are
Hmm.
you attacking me? Like, no, I'm not attacking you. I'm giving you constructive criticism so hopefully you improve on, like there's a difference between attacking somebody and constructively criticizing them. Let's just
But then
let's leave it at that.
I feel like people use constructive criticism too as in a way of an attack.
That is true. That is true.
Hmm.
That is true.
It just takes time to really be able to like to decipher if it is constructive criticism or is it just someone attacking.
Oh yeah, you can you me I can pretty much decipher. Like I can tell by
I can too.
the tone of your voice and how you're coming off.
Hmm.
That's basically all you need to know. Like the tone of their voice. Like are they saying it in like a fair voice or and but kind of stern, but and
Hmm.
then you have the ones that are just like then you have the ones that just like straight yell at you and then you know you're being attacked. So it's just like
Yep.
you just have to know the difference and be able to, decipher the tone of voice that the person is coming at you in. And that also comes with knowing the person as well.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Going back to black sheep, I
Please.
love like, you know, growing up, you're viewed as like this person who's like weird or uh what's another one? Weird. Um, what was another term that I heard? Delusional,
Ah,
not from family per se, but just like
just
media,
yeah, just
just in
uh-huh.
general. But then years down the line, everything that you were like ch- pointing at and trying to express while you were younger comes to light.
I love it. That part of it I love.
Mhm.
That part of
And
it
then
I love
now,
because it's an I told you so moment. I love the I
yeah,
told you so.
but then because of all that backlash from being told you're weird, you're delusional, you're this, that, and the third, and all the verbal and psychological abuse, you're healing from all of that because you felt something was off
Right.
all these years. like you're relieved that it finally came to light, but you're like,
Now what?
why didn't you just listen to me? But you listen to everyone else who was just,
Ooh, I had a
you
situation
know,
like that.
oh,
Oh, I've had a
mm,
situation like that, and it was recent, man. It was like it was with my one of my biological family members. I'm not gonna get too much into it because, like I said, I don't know who's listening to this, but yeah, man, I'm just gonna leave it at that. And that person is those people are finally realizing that I was right about that person all along, and it feels good.
oh my gosh. I have a situation too
It
within
feels
the
so good.
past 4 years. But then it goes back, but that situation, the way it's being handled, it's like they know said person's toxic, but their their beliefs, like they're too set in their ways of, yeah, because this person's toxic, we got to stick together because
Oh no,
family.
I'm not dealing with that. I don't deal with that
I'm
shit.
like, so so F my feelings, right?
Yeah, it's like fuck you,
And
and we're yeah
you're just gonna keep someone who's problematic.
around me because that's what you want. You want us to be a family. Fuck you.
And then they're catering to the golden child.
Yeah.
That golden child, someone who is just perfect,
Oh
quote
yeah.
unquote perfect, can't do no wrong.
No, no. A few people in my family think it's me
In this case, I'm not talking about my family. I'm talking about like
in general.
someone else's
What?
family
Oh
who's
no,
also close to me. But yeah,
but I'm saying like a few people in my family think it's me, and it ain't me. Trust me.
mm.
There is one, but it ain't me. That's all I'm gonna say.
my my response to all of this is they'll learn eventually.
Hmm.
They'll learn. But it's wild because of said problematic person doing, like, that problematic person have done them wrong, but then it's like you can hear the distress in their voice, but then of what they did to said person, but yet it comes back to that whole because of family. I You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm just
Okay.
listening.
Sorry. Because of said person, um, they're just like, oh, because of family. Like I understand family's important, you you never know when you'll lose someone in your family. So that's why it's important to, be with them, to get in touch with them, speak to them, whatnot. But don't use that as an excuse.
Right.
You
I
need
understand.
to, you gotta, like, it goes back to what I said earlier, gotta be able to sit down with these people and talk about the elephant in the room. And that's one thing I love about chosen family is that you don't have to try. You could just be like, all right, I have this problem today
Yeah.
and it just bothers me. And you don't feel guilty for talking
No,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Mm.
No, and I totally get that. I totally get that. You don't, like you said, you don't like you with your chosen family, you don't have to deal with the judgment element. You can just
Hmm.
pretty much pretty much say whatever the fuck is on your mind, and just leave it at that.
Right. Because they get the real you.
Exactly. And you're not afraid to be the real you around them because you know you're not gonna get judged. You'll get more. you'll get more backlash from being something that you're not than you will being the real
Hmm.
you.
Again, I'm not targeting like this. I'm not saying this happens in all traditional families because goes back to the modern family. Because modern families, like I said, there are modern families out there who are just not afraid to talk about the uncomfortable situations and answer the questions that most people, well, most kids would have.
Mm-hmm.
Most kisses, sorry, most kids, children would ask.
Right.
Oh,
No, and yeah, no. This is why we got into this. I don't know how y'all feeling out there. You liking this, or you just want to be like oh, shut up, or yeah, and like just turn
oh
us off.
well.
Like, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna talk about what we want to talk about. You don't like it, skip to the next episode.
Just don't listen at all.
Yeah, no, I'm totally kidding, but no, in all seriousness, but yeah, yeah, no, that's definitely it. I feel like we got a lot off our chest.
Yeah, and one thing I love about chosen families in recent days becoming a norm. It's
Yeah,
more accepting. And especially as an adult, like you could just choose whoever the hell you want to be around and
that
who you prefer in your circle.
that's the cool thing about adulting. You don't have to you can make your own decision without fear of, backlash. Unless it's like
Yeah,
self-harming or harming somebody else, just do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, that's it.
right. That's why I'm really am hoping that within these modern families that they should always like they should just continue being accepting towards like their children asking questions and about anything.
Right,
Don't hold anything back.
right. Yeah.
And
So
don't just try to disregard it. No, you can't. Unless otherwise, unless you need to digress, like the stress and digress and digest
digest,
what
yeah.
they asked you and do more research on it and then come back to it. I get that, but just don't avoid
Don't
it.
throw it by the wayside. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. They oh God.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So with anything else you want to add, like?
I think I said a lot.
No, same. But hold on one second. I have a quote to take us out this week, and like I do every single week, I end the podcast with a quote, and today's quote is, hold on one second. Oh, okay. This is a good one. And this is something that I want you guys to remember. And today's quote is, no amount of anxiety, no amount of anxiety changes anything that's going to happen. So basically, it basically don't said by Alan Watts. Don't basically the more you stress about something and not confront it, like it doesn't change the fact that you're not gonna have to deal with it. So if you're gonna
Oof.
if you got something going on, just deal with it. That's basically it.
Oof.
And yeah, no,
I guess
with
I have I
sure,
want to like I know this is off topic, but
sure.
about that quote, I mean, it's could be the unknown. Like it's not a well, actually, yeah, that coincides with what we're talking about too. I mean, I feel like for me, if when it comes to that, I feel like it's just the unknown.
Yeah,
Because I am usually the person that's like, that loves to self analyze and just try to like plan things out and at least have some sort of an idea of what's to come. But
which I need to do more of. I'm just like fuck it, let's go with it.
again, it's just me. I'm always in my head. And that comes from traditional way of parenting and being traditionally taught that you always need to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Like
And
that was drilled.
you kind of don't. I mean, like
Yeah,
sometimes your backup plan doesn't work out either.
right. Right?
I know my
And that's
I
why
know I know mine sure as hell didn't, but anyway, here we are.
mine's no. No, it didn't.
But anyway, here we are. Good. We're sitting down doing a podcast about our backup plans now because our backup plan didn't work. So now here we
Nope.
are now here we are united together. And I'm kidding.
It's funny you mentioned that because of like going back to I guess episode 1, me being, art artistic and creative, having that background. Back then, it wasn't as accepting as it is now.
Hmm.
Meaning like from my opinion, other people can tell me otherwise, but from my opinion, I feel like it wasn't as accepting. Like if you were to do something entrepreneurial, it wasn't as well known. Unlike now, when you have social media where like you can do stuff like, you can showcase your talents a lot more and you'll gain a huge following.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. You
No, no,
get
no.
it?
I get it. I get it because now because that this is the age that we're in. We're in the like it or not. We're in the age of social media. Like everything is posted online. Everybody's interacting with each other online. People are meeting new friends online and forging new relationships and
Yep.
friendships and all kinds of stuff, man. You can even go online to find a date these days, and it's like that's
Yeah, man.
that's like for me I'm more of a old school traditionalist in
In your
that way, but
yeah. I'm not saying all traditional ways, traditional like teachings are bad because some actually need to be implemented. For example, what you said, how like meeting someone, going on a date, you need that face to face contact.
right. And oh,
Because
and yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
trying to do that on over the computer,
Yeah, it's not genuine.
no.
I don't feel like it's genuine.
Because at least you can like feel the vibe, the frequency, wavelength, and stuff in person.
Yeah, because you may vibe with somebody over a conversation on the on Zoom or whatever have you, but when you get there, like you feel something's kind of off, and it's like I thought we were vibing. I thought we had something. I thought we
Right.
were vibing, but no, and then
Mm,
that's why it's easier to meet people than it is to interact with them, over social
right.
media or whatever the case is. But
No,
no, and
I'm sorry. Let me
also
just.
yeah,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Continue.
No, no, please, 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 go ahead.
No, I wanted to finish my point about the arts, the creative background, whatnot.
Right.
Um, like some cases, like for example, my mom wanted me to do business. She wanted me to go into business and stuff, and I'm like, that's not my thing,
Mm-hmm.
but because I guess a way she felt like it wasn't going to work. But I get it. Like going into that field, it helps. It's going back to backup plan, but that just wasn't my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, eventually I ended up going into early childhood, and I honestly started learning some things that I thought was normal growing up. Not, but
That's true too. It could
mm,
yeah. Yeah, like depending on the field that you're in, like if it's a psychology field or teaching, like you learn a lot of things there. And I know I did when I took a lot of courses, especially the psychology courses. You like
Yes,
that just gives you a whole perspective on life, a whole new perspective.
exactly. That's why I miss college.
Yeah, so yeah, seriously, I kind of do. I kind of do. But yeah, oh man, but no, anyway, like before we get out of here, man, let me just talk to you guys about next week. This week was a little bit heavy, but next week we got some fun going on, man. We kind of teased it in previous episodes, but it is finally happening.
Yes.
Episode 6. We are gonna have a lot of fun and quite possibly a special guest. So definitely get ready for that.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, get ready for that. We're gonna have some fun next week. But anyway, man, that is gonna do it for this episode of LayIzzy's Introspection Connection. I am Izzy.
I am Lay.
And we are out of time. We will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.